Thank you so much. God bless you. I should much don't know. We will celebrate. We are going to do your 80th, your 90th, your 100th. You know, we keep celebrating. When you want to go.
Happy birthday, Tony Akionsho. Happy 60th birthday. 60 has nothing on you, my brother, my friend, the man, one of the very few people that inspired me at the very point in my career that I needed to reach deep into myself. Your presence in an audience meant that one needed to dig deeper into himself as an actor to deliver the goods. You were one of the few people that did that for me. Knowing that you will review a film or anything, a performance, meant that one needed to put up his best act, bring his A game. Here you are, 60. I thought I was actually older than you, Tony. But again, you are one whole year ahead, you know? You don't get excited, read a good book, and run to Tony and say, oh, Tony, have you read this book? Of course, he would have read it. You are the gatekeeper of the creative industry in the modern era.
Like,
yeah.
Let me chat with you.
This is not my original look. Look at me with white beards. While you do COVID later.
German, can you do the opening for us? Publisher is actually in the waiting room, so we can usher him in. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
They can hear you.
Thank you very much for joining us in celebrating our brother, Mr. Oluwatoyin Alfred Moses Aremu, friend Akoni Akinocho, the son of the Akinochos. He's actually from Benin Republic, but he claims to be from Ewute Metta. But you can give it, when he comes in, we'll give him a warm round of applause. The person who is going to lead us in this is Yomi Layinka, with whom they both started Kora. I mean, they've been on since Ife in all these days. So I'm not sure he has joined us yet. Shion, can you confirm? But once it's in, we'll go into that. But thank you very much for joining us. I could say so many people, Professor Emiraji, Aderemi Adegbite, Tuji Aziz, Auntie Yabo Ababa, Shion Olakoton, Laiwola Adeniji. Hey, go Mike. That's a good Mike. Those were the first-time bombers. I'm seeing Ambassador Lukoni is with us. Adele Kemena Sarah Adeyemi, I just told him about 5 minutes ago. The Jitoye is there. Professor Akande Shokan, you're welcome. Everybody, you're welcome. Niramala, please, everybody, welcome. Auntie Yabo, welcome very much. Auntie Yabo is still muted, but it's okay. So, we're going to proceed in a very simple way. The moment we usher him in, Yomi Layinka will take over, and then we'll do the initial ceremony, just introduce him, and then briefly, then we propose the toast. After we have proposed the toast, then we do the launching of the video documentary, and then we do the book, we do the toast, and then people that we give room to some people to give some tribute, because we have just about 40 minutes. So some of us will do tribute. If you have the elderly one among us, and then some of the young people, I can see Auntie Yabo already. She's a young girl of 70, so we have cut that one. Well, Ambassador Connie is there too. I mean, we have some of our elders, our mothers and my father, they are there with us, so they will join in giving the goodwill messages, and some of the younger people too. I am nominating Professor Akin Adeshokon to be the moderator after the initial ceremony. After Yomila Yinka's session of the ceremony, Akin Adeshokon, as we agreed yesterday, we then take over from there.
Okay.
I don't know if this is the time to read. I think we should read it when Tony comes in. Go ahead.
I have him on standby, so I'm going to
Okay.
unmute. I'm going to unmute everybody, then we can welcome him.
Hello. From Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Toyin Akinosho is in. The
You're welcome.
is in.
Hello, I'm here. My name is Yomi Okpakule.
Hey! I was wondering who is this bearded man. Yomila Yinka, please take over. Happy birthday! Oh, I think you can proceed.
Happy birthday to you.
Stopping the gun, no. Give room to Yomila Yinka to start.
It's what you know.
Man, Aragamago. I'm here. Mago.
Jordan Batik. Batik,
The publisher. Publisher. The famous publisher.
Let's listen to Jordan Batik.
Ajagba boy.
Happy birthday, Toyin.
You're looking cool, oh.
Jordan Batik.
Birthday, Toyin. Can they see me?
Oh, why? Hey, look who's here.
I'm Sam, Abragamabo.
Happy birthday. Celebrating the king of boys. King of boys.
So what can we do with the music? We're not hearing anything.
Happy birthday to the king of boys.
Happy birthday to you. Oh, yeah.
It's a jolly good
Hooray! Okay, guys. Let's welcome Yomila Yinka, first president of Committee for Relevant Art, CORA.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and especially a special guest for the evening, the celebrant, our dear Toyin Akinosho. who is 60 today. We thank you all for joining us. And as German has said, okay, my name is Yomi Lanka, and Tony Akiosho, 29 years ago, made me president of Kora, even though he was the founder of Kora. So you know, Tony Akiosho has a habit of orally move into his agendas, as I'm sure German Anikulapo will confess, and many other victims of his agendas. So it's a pleasure and really, really great honor to be asked to participate in this event. I'm in Ibadan. So obviously you guys, most of you are in Lagos, and I'm sure quite a number of us are in other parts of the world. So it's a global ceremony in honor of a very deserving friend of ours. As German has hinted, the program of events itself will run very smoothly, and hopefully in about 30 minutes we'll be at the end of it. We're all signed in, and I'm sure a number of us will come up as we go along. So we thought we should have some self-introductions, but we assume that we already know a few of the people. I heard the name of Ambassador Ayo Lukoni, my friend, Ayo, Kaleo, and a couple of other people who are there. But it would be nice to get to know some of our guests on the platform as we go along. There's a suggestion that we should have an opening prayer by anyone led by whatever spirit, Muslim, animist, or Christian. So do we have anybody led by any of these spirits to usher us into this program? Anybody?
I nominate Auntie Yabo Ababa. I think she's probably the oldest in our midst now.
Okay,
if Bruce Onobra comes on, then Auntie Yabo will
vacate the throne. Okay. So let's have Auntie Yabo do us the honors of an opening prayer.
Auntie Yabo.
Okay. Almighty,
amen.
Who has brought us all to today, guide, God, and protect us. Give us longer life, in good health, peace, and harmony with mankind. And as we gather here this morning, to wish our brother, our friend, Oluwatoyin Alfred Akiosho, happy birthday. May you enjoy his life. And may all of us enjoy our life. In Jesus' name we have prayed.
Amen.
Am I on? Thank you.
Yes, you're on.
This technological abundance. So everybody just gets used to it. It is part of the COVID-19 adaptation process. Thank you for the opening prayer. Thank you very much. We're moving on now, and as we said, a brief introduction of the program. We've already spoken about the sequence of the events, but I just highlight again that basically today, as we know, we're celebrating Tony Akiosho at 60, and surprisingly, coronavirus negative, thankfully. So we're also here for Thanksgiving service for Tony Akiosho that is coronavirus negative at 60. But let's also talk about briefly that in the coming minutes there will be a sequence of video, a short video show tribute to Tony Akiosho at 60. There will also be an introduction of a proposed book that will come up in the course of this evening, and then we'll have felicitations by all of us present. As we all know, just for the sake of those who may not, know about Toyin Akyosho. Just briefly, Toyin Akyosho is a managing partner at Upstream Information, Update Energy Intelligence Consulting. And he's also basically involved in upstream information updates, energy intelligence consulting. And of course, he attended the University of Ife for his geology program. In short, TA is an energy reporter, petroleum geologist, and a keen arts enthusiast, as we all know. So that's about Toyin Akyosho for those who may not know enough. So we're moving on now to toast to the celebrant. I hope that we all have glasses around us of whatever we drink. I have my glass of Guinness right beside me.
Boy, you cannot toast with Guinness. So.
You toast with wine, Abi. You can toast with anything.
I have the Madagascar brew.
Madagascar, I have it in here too. Anything you wish for is in
Madagascar go is in Abuja.
Let everybody have his glass or her glass, him or her, as we go into this process into the
let me pick my glass.
Hello. Are we on? Now I'm going to have to do this a bit democratically.
Is Joe.
Propose now.
Propose now.
Propose no, it's
Flying car is proposing.
Publisher, hello.
Publisher.
Publisher. The word publisher.
Hello.
Saludo.
Hello.
60.
About 60. Happy Thursday, publisher. There is.
Publisher, I didn't know that you share a name with Obasanjo.
You can go
Okay,
ahead.
good morning. If you can hear the voices alone. Yeah, go ahead, Larry, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Toyin Akyosho. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Okay. Well, let me begin by saying this is a beautiful idea that has been put together to celebrate a very good friend, a very dear brother. I had Yomila Yinka making so much capital out of the fact that Toyin attended the University of Ife. But before Ife, Toyin was a student of the Lagos Academy Baptist, where we prepared him to.
I know you are going to make a bone of that.
So, also, when you are talking about somebody to pray, you are talking about animist prayer, Islamic prayer, or what have you. Forgetting that Toyin is a Christian, even though I cannot vouch for the last time he went to church. He comes from a Christian home, he went to a Christian school, and so we believe that those values will still be with him. So, on behalf of all his friends who went to school with him at the Lagos Baptist Academy, all his friends who are on this platform this morning, I want to say welcome to the club of sexagenarians. It's my prayer that your 10-year membership will be a very smooth one. And that when you graduate into that fold of september, you will be doubly prepared it will not be at any great discomfort for you. You're looking well, and we look forward to we look forward to the real thing. This is just what we can settle for in view of the reality of our times. But at the earliest opportunity, join others looking forward to the rendezvous that will be befitting to Toyin Akeosho. So, congratulations, Toyin. Welcome to the club of sex education. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ambassador, look on the field. Let's propose the toast. Oh, look on the field.
I will do that. I will do the toast.
Okay, that's
okay. Thank you. Okay. And we have Ambassador look on it.
Yeah. Well, this is to our brother. I hope we are all hearing. Yes. This is to our brother.
Okay, yes.
The one and only geologist, cultural advocate, Koraman. Oh, and we wish you great time. As you age gracefully, you will continue to have good health. Goro. And like I said, yeah, this is it. An ode to Toyin at 60. Hashtag Toyin at 60. 2 thumbs up to him on a milestone. The geologist, cultural enthusiast, writer, heart and soul of relevant arts at Kora, all roll into one. To him we toast today, say, after COVID-19, we will rewind our Toyin at 60. For the real deal, as he trucks on, aging gracefully on the path of art that imitates life and part of life imitating. I say, hip, 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 hooray! Hip, hip, hip. Hooray! It's a jolly good fellow. It's a jolly good
Hey guys, are you sure? This sure Uncle T is okay. He's drinking water, Ember water.
She's drinking water.
Water bottle.
What do we do?
He's an old man.
Thank you. Thank you. Have any lady in the house?
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Raise do a toast for Toyin?
Yes, do a toast. Yes.
Toyin is a wonderful human being. I can't believe how much he has achieved in just 60 years. 60 years is very young. You have done so much in such a short space of time. You brought the cultural, all the cultural elements in this country. You brought them together into this vibrant entity. Your love for all things cultural is so contagious. You personify labor of love, because there are no oil wells in cultural life in Nigeria, but you make it so attractive. And thank you so much for welcoming me. Thank you for being you, Toyin, for being accessible, grounded, enthusiastic, and just never giving up, out there in the trenches, you and Jaman. And congratulations on reaching 60. As I said, you're still very young. Many more blessed returns. Here's to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Of our friends give the toast. Unfortunately, I didn't pick the name of the last lady. So we'll just go and do the toast now properly. Every one of us, let us charge our glasses, as we suggested before. I saw that Otiono suggests that Tony has sapele water in his glass, so that's good enough.
That doesn't look like clear water to me.
So let everybody charge of our glasses.
Look like clear water to me.
No, we want to see.
I can tell.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're raising our Tom Williams. Thank you. Tom Williams was the last lady that gave us the toast. All right.
He needs a drink. Come on. He needs a drink.
All right, Toyi, do the favors. Can you pour that in a glass at least? 60 years to today.
Yes, so you shouldn't advertise ever.
Like that Babs Catch boy.
He's not 90 yet.
Yes.
It's not 90 yet, so he shouldn't start acting like our next ambassador to the US.
You shouldn't act like the other man in the battle.
Tony don't go wash glass for kitchen. Just going to wash a glass in the kitchen. That's why he brings.
There's no glass at home. There's no glass.
More like you want. I want to Yes, man.
What happened to your small bottles of stout?
That doesn't fool me.
Stout. What happened to them?
Publisher, your volume is muted.
Okay, thank you. Now that we have Tony following you because of 60 years. You know, Tony has attended a lot of cocktails around.
So let's do the coverage.
Council, British Institute, and all of those places, and you wonder why he hasn't got up cocktail. So that's fine. Hopefully, from now on, we'll go to finishing school. Anyway, gentlemen and ladies, this friend, my dearest friend Tony. The Lord bless you with strength, amen. Do the things that you love to do, love to comfort you whenever you are distressed.
Relax, raise your glass.
Amen. Therefore, it's a wonderful year ahead of you, Mr. Publisher.
Amen.
Happy Diamond Jubilee and happy 60th birthday. Welcome to Age of 6. Congratulations. Hip, hip, hip.
Hooray.
Let's sing the Jolly Good Fellow song. For he's a jolly good fellow.
For he's a jolly good
So say all of us. Say all of us.
He's a jolly good fellow.
A big round of applause to Tony Akinsho at this time. And we give a round of applause to Tony Akinsho. And Tony, please. Okay. Thank you. But hold on, Tony. The next two items, as mentioned by Yomila Inka, the one we call Babafela, the first president of Kora. For many of us who may not know, actor, broadcaster, former SA to the governor of Oyo State. Thank you very much, Yomila Inka.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Yes, sir. So the next two items, when we started this program, this plan, we started around late January, and the plan was to have, Lara, welcome. The plan was to have two day events. The plan was to have 2 days event, 15th at the Freedom Park, which was graciously given to us, and then National Theatre on 16th. But with COVID, Corona curfew, and pandemonium, we cannot do anything. So we've tried to compress everything. But there were 2 items, and I have to especially thank, I know he doesn't like it, Akande Shokon, who insisted that, look, we can go ahead, we do not need to wait for COVID. That's why we are here. Another people like Wala, all the people who served in the committee, who then said, let's proceed with the book. Because we had issued a statement, we had issued a notice out there that people who have encountered him, we were not looking for an academic book, but we said people who have just, it's not a fresh script. We said those who have encountered Toyin, because it's an elephant of so many, I mean, it depends on where you want to see Toyin Akinsho. I see him as a laybout, for instance, and I have my reason for that. So we decided to put the book together. So I think we have about, how many people, Gabriel? Gabriel Ogungbade, Jide Ogungbade's son, has been working with me on it. I think we have almost about 60 people who contributed. The book is in 3 chapters. Shion, can you put up the cover? So we would like to thank all the contributors, especially the professors that eventually came in, because they had to write in the midst of doing markings and grading and rest of them. Akande Shokon, Professor Otiono, Ogaga Ifowodo, all of them. I can't even remember everybody who had to just drop everything that they had to do to be able to do that. And then special thanks to Professor Dio Shundari, and who actually, it was because of him that the book was delayed, but we could understand because he ran into a little problem while he was preparing introduction to the book. But he did the introduction. Bentomoloju did the introduction. Neo Shundari did the preface, and then we got Kunle Ajibade to do the final note. Then we got Akande Shokon to do a special poem and the Jitoye. And all the contributors are there. The book is ready, but I'm doing social and physical distancing, so I can't come to your house to deliver it to you. But the book has been produced by Dr. Shola Adeyemi right there in London. He's also with us now. He's been working for 3 days now just to make sure that we have the final print that will be launched online, and then the link will be sent to everybody. Then later, we will now get it printed, because even the printers were afraid to stay more than 5 o'clock at Shomolu, so they couldn't print. But then, what we have done again is that we said in November, because November is Toyin Akinsho's date. He's the one who is the ideal man for Kora. I'm just the mechanic. I just implement whatever I say. So we're going to declare a day or two for Toyin Akinsho during Labaf. Labaf is November 9 to 15. So, and he was one who extended Labaf from 4 days to 1 week, because we had so many, we couldn't cope. So we're going to do 1 or 2 days that period. So, but this is the book. The book is ready. We will send you the link. You can download, and then, but Shola Adeyemi, are you there? If Shola is there, you can raise his hand so that they will bring him up. You can just speak briefly to the book, but the blob is there on the screen for us to see. Shola Adeyemi, are you there? Dr. Adeyemi, please. Dr. Adeyemi? Okay. Well, the book is divided into 3 sections. The first section deals with the people we call Toyin Akinsho's many children. There are people who have worked with Toyin Akinsho who remain forever grateful to him. I saw just briefly now Babo. Do you remember Babo? Tunde Babo. I just saw him. Babo is there. He joined us. Babo is there, yes. He's joined us from the US. So so the first part is for all the people who have worked with Toyin Akinsho over time. GM, that's Femi Paye, who is actually Toyin's sounding board and the one that he kicked around the most. there's Kingdom Marigo. Kingdom was so handsome that he would take Tony Akinsho to his girlfriend's place and he would end up with the girl. So they were always quarreling and I would want to settle the matter. The publisher would say, Bobo ain't gbayawo mi now. Bobo ain't fine, you gbayawo mi. So we're always having that. We have Dr. Ken Egbas, the man that Tony said, look, leave the front of my house, and he ended up in the house. He's also there with us. We have his testimony. We have Chris Paul Otaigbe. Well, I can't remember everybody. There's one person that I tried to get that we couldn't get. Her name is Stella. Those who think that Mr. Publisher did not have a wife, there was a woman who worked with Tony Akinsho for almost 2 decades. How she managed, I don't know.
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years. Publisher will abuse her, the girl will run away, then she will come back. But she has been the most consistent with her until she left a few years ago. I tried to get her, but it wasn't possible. So that's the first section. The second section we talked about is art, as you can see from the topic. So the first section is demand. That's why we get all these people to talk about Tony Akinsho demand, because many people do not know Tony demand. I live with him briefly, so I know Tony demand. We quarreled all the time, even when I was editing First Tag News, we were always throwing punches. But I liberated myself the day he wrote query to his editor. He wrote 2 paragraphs. I replied with 13 pages. He said, lie, I will never write you query again. So I liberated myself. I was not able to capture that. I wrote 13 pages, handwritten. I said, go back, you're publisher. You cannot give me query over what you cost. So anyway, that's the first part. The second part is on his art. This is where we talk about Tony Akinsho's intervention in the enterprise of culture production, art advocacy, criticism, and as you see in the acknowledgement, this book was inspired by someone, one of the people who producing culture now that we love so much, who met me somewhere and said, why does he think he can just come around and be destroying people's work? Who is he? Maybe he's a geologist, he's a failed geologist. Let him go and do his geology. And I stood there and I was looking at this person. I said, wow, Tony Akinsho is a failed geologist. What does he know about the art? And I said, this is a book that we just have to put together. People do not know Tony. I've been in Tony's circle, which is oil. I call them his oily friends. And when they talk about Tony Akinsho, and they talk about him in this condescending manner that I'm very touchy about this thing. When I respect people, you cannot bring them down. I'm loyal to that extent. And they talk about him as if well, the only one who didn't make money and didn't join them in the big circle. But that's why none of them is in this book. But I've seen 1 or 2 who are also our friends. I heard that statement, and since then I felt very concerned. I think we should have this book. So we talk about his art. We have people who have encountered him in the art and so. Then we have the third part where we have the essays unmasking Tony Akinsho. That is the myth. That is the section where we got all the essays. That's where Akande Shokan, Otiono, Ogagai Fowodo, I can't remember, Tade Padeola, and Dinlaiwala is there. People who wrote about him. Then we have a section where the people who minted Tony in Ife, Yomila Inka, Edmond Enaibe, Maxim Muzuatu, Mahmoud Ali Balogun, people who knew him in Ife, we knew where all these things started. So we have that in the section. Then the later part, which is the postscript, is about his media, his publications, his writings. And Tony writes so competently in the art. He will write about science. He was also writing opinion. So we try to capture that, and then his interviews in the media and the rest of them. So that's what the book is about. But you all get the link, and when it is printed eventually, you get a copy, and you'll be invited to the final. To the celebration, not the final Tony, the celebration of Tony Akinsho in November. Hopefully, all this will have been done. But let me drop a hint. Always on the last day of Labaf, because I was always running the program, and Tony Akinsho, because I don't want him to come and unleash his reading on us, I'll make sure that we keep him away from the stage. But every last day, in fact, the last hour, I'll go to him and say, what is the theme for next year? I will have my own idea and I will sell it to him, and then we'll tweak it around. You know, he just said a state of flux. You know, I didn't get the meaning. Then he gave me 2 sentences to explain it. And I see he was being prophetic. We did not even know that COVID will come. And COVID came, and now we're in a state of flux. And that is the theme for LABAF in 2020. So thank you very much. That's about the book, but you read the rest in the, any error you see in the book is the printer's devil, not mine. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Tewa. Clap.
Beautiful. Man, if any error is the printer's devil, then you are the devil.
So you blame my editor, Larry.
Hello, my name is Dr. Jalabi. Can I say a word, please?
Oh, okay, please. Yeah, go.
As a global president.
Hi, my name is Dr. Jalabi. I just wanted to say something to what German just said. And I think German.
Can you raise your hand so that
Hi, you hear me? Please. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so my name is Dr. Jalabi. I wanted to say a word to what German just said. German, I think you're being very unfair to the people in the oil industry. We know Toyin, we value Toyin. We absolutely love and adore Toyin. Toyin is probably even arguably more popular than when he was in Chevron, he was more popular than the MD of Chevron at the time. I mean, we all used to say that. And we love Toyin. Toyin is not a failed professional at all. We don't regard him as I don't know who you were talking to, but I know that Toyin is highly respected in the oil industry. Toyin knows a lot about the sciences. He's a thoroughbred geologist as well. So in defense of all the geoscientists and all the oil people, I must say that is not accurate. That is not, I don't know who said it. Maybe that's a personal beef, but I can tell you that is not accurate and that's not true. Whatever the person said was his own personal opinion. He doesn't speak for even a minority of us, talk less of a majority of us. Lai is already nodding his head, and I'm sure that if you can ask anyone, we would. I'm just sorry that most of us didn't get a chance. A lot of people are not present here because they didn't get this invite. So you are talking from the perspective of the arts, but I can tell you from the perspective of the geoscientists and the oil people, not only in Chevron, but everywhere in the oil industry in Nigeria today, that Toyin is a force to be reckoned with, not just as well regarded in the industry as he is in the arts. So let me just say that and correct that impression. I'm sorry to interrupt, but please go on with your program.
No, you're good, Doja. Actually, I have to introduce Doja. Doja has been with us in the arts. Forget that you work in oil company. She's been with us right from the beginning, and we're very happy to have you there. You know, the statement I was making actually is captured in the acknowledgement to the book. What I was saying was that we already, in fact, when we started planning, the oil people were the first supporters. I remember that the first 3 calls we got that, look, we'll put the money down, and there was going to be a dinner tomorrow, like tonight, Sunday, for Toyin. I only warned that, look, Toyin is a disappearing person. He may just vanish on you. I don't know whether he has money to go to his second home, South Africa. So they were actually giving us support. The context of what I was saying was that I've been in their circle, you know, because Toyin had to buy me that expensive food. So I always go there too, because Nape was always falling the same week as LABAF. So I always go to meet him at Nape. But you know, one of those nights when we were looking for money to rent, I had some statement, really. I have to tell you that. I had some statement and I felt it was unfortunate. But those were people who didn't, because they don't really know what he does in the arts. So the book is actually to spotlight Toyin as an artist, as an interventionist in the art, as a Renaissance man, as some of the writers. In fact, all the professors concluded that he's the Renaissance man. So I'm not saying it to put them
but
down.
German, that's not accurate now. Tony is the full Tony he's a geologist too, but we concede to you.
I said it's an elephant.
We'll have our own party, don't worry.
No, we're going to have it. So we're just saying that the statement that was made about Tony being a failed geologist was, we have new culture producers. They don't know Tony. And Tony is very acerbic in his writing. As his editor at The Guardian, he put me in trouble. When people will call me and abuse me, I say, go and call Tony. They say, that one is a madman. So he wrote something about somebody saying we're the first to go to somewhere. And he wrote a piece. And the person came charging at me and said, look, who is that guy? Why will he be putting down my work? And what does he know about the art? This person came into producing art in the last 10, 15 years. So you don't really know him. And I felt very embarrassed that, look, this is somebody who has done so much for the art, as you see in the book. So I'm not saying it to put down the science. Anyway, I hope I've absorbed myself. So I'm so sorry. I wasn't saying it to put down the... If I knew that you were there, I would...
Larry says we should forgive you, so we forgive you.
Larry is one of us. So...
Thank you so much. God bless you. I should much know you. We will celebrate you. We're going to do your 80th, your 90th, your 100th. We keep celebrating. When you want to go.
Happy birthday, Tony Akionsho. Happy 60th birthday. 60 has nothing on you. My brother, my friend, the man, one of the very few people that inspired me at the very point in my career that I needed to reach deep into myself. Your presence in an audience meant that one needed to dig deeper into himself as an actor to deliver the goods. You were one of the few people that did that for me. Knowing that you will review a film or anything, a performance, meant that one needed to put up his best act, bring his A game. Here you are, 60. I thought I was actually older than you, Tony. But again, you are one whole year ahead, You don't get excited, read a good book, and run to Tony and say, oh, Tony, have you read this book? Of course, he would have read it. You are the gatekeeper of the creative industry in the modern era. I wonder if these young boys know what they are missing or what they have missed. No intellectual rigors anymore, apart from one or two Lone Rangers out there. But thank you, Tony, for making this business when it was important for us to practice it at the highest level, that we could. I wish you many more years. I can't wait for another 10 years to pour libation, read poetry and all of that. I hope I get a chance to read a poem for you at the official celebration. Thank you, my brother and my friend, for all you have done for the arts. The geologist turned art critic and gatekeeper of the Creative Forge. Thank you and God bless you, Tony. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. Tony. This is me sending you best wishes on your 60th birthday. I'm very happy, I'm very glad that you made it to a new year and more especially a new decade. I'm sending best wishes to you. Perfect health. I wish you perfect health, more grace, more favor, more increase in this your new year, in this your new decade. Thank you for being an amazing person, for the continuous laughter. Happy birthday, Mr. Tony. God bless you in your new year, in your new decade.
Baba Publisher, I join the entire distinguished creative colleagues to salute and celebrate Tony Akionsho as he turns 60. That means we have known ourselves for about 35 years now. At the time, we were all young actors around the National Theatre. Tony was working for either The Guardian or This Week, and then he would come to our rehearsals. Our rehearsals was always top-notch because of the kind of review that Tony would do. I mean, Tony was very interrogative, was very deep, and sometimes acerbic in his reviews of our plays at the time. I have thoroughly enjoyed my moments with him because of his very expansive knowledge in the creative environment through drama, musicals, galleries, sculpture, plastic arts, everything concerning the art. Toyin appears a master, regardless that he is a science-based person who studied geology, and then he continued to work for Chevron after his stint with Garden and This Week. Toyin has established himself as an absolutely brilliant journalist, even winning some international awards. My understanding of Lagos today is thanks to Toyin, because I recall at some point where Toyin will take me to attend about 4 different nightclubs in Lagos in a night, and thanks so very much for all the gifts of books. Because of Toyin, I had a bigger and better and fuller understanding of African authors, particularly Nigerian authors. So thanks for all the organizations that you do, Cora, Art Stampede, doing stores for Anna, doing stores for Writers Prize, and all of those things. You just make things happen and make things sweet. I congratulate you, I celebrate you, and I say thank you for being a good person. That thing that you know how to do, keep doing it. All the best. We will be here to celebrate your 70th, we'll be here to celebrate your 80th. When it's getting to 90, we need to review that request. Congratulations, Baba Publisher. This is me saying cheers.
Happy birthday, Mr. T. Have a beautiful day. God bless you.
Toyin Akinosho has been one of those public-spirited, positively driven Nigerians who have taken it upon themselves to provide opportunities for Nigerian youths who otherwise may not have had the chance to follow their dreams. Toyin is always there to help. He's always not thinking of himself first before others. I felicitate with you today that you are turning 60, and I pray that God continues to bless you and provide you with the wherewithal to continue to help Nigerians. Happy birthday, brother and friend.
Toyin, at last you are now 60. Congratulations. Welcome to the Old People's Club. I know you will be laughing, say you are not old. Oh boy, you don't old. Come join Old People Club. God bless you, protect you, and keep you going continuously. And please, may you continue to do the good work in the arts. May you continue to help us sort things out like you always do. I appreciate you as a friend. My Aburo, God bless you. Congratulations.
Hooray! Happy birthday, 60th birthday to my brother, my friend, the quintessential Toyin Akinosho himself. I'm so happy to be part of this celebration. I call you Toyin the arts advocate, Toyin the geologist, Toyin the superman, Toyin the stampede man. Congratulations, my brother. Ibadu Odukan, you will live long and more blessings and prosperity. I wish you good luck, and be sure that your friends are all there jubilating. Happy birthday, and let me say 3 go sides, 1 representing each score. For 3 scores, go side, go side, go side.
Some great.
This documentary, 50 minutes, has 39 or 40, I think 40 people in it, and it's 50 minutes, so we cannot screen everything. This is just a tip of the iceberg. This evening, in the Arts and Culture Writers Association of Nigeria, I was saying that this video is 50 minutes. There are 39 people. I think there were 40, but I'm seeing 39 on my list here that took part in it. 2 minutes, but some people went beyond 2 minutes. Some were under. So we have all the 50, but we're going to add more. So I think this is a very good experiment that the committee decided on, and that Francis Onwuche, the actor producer that we all know, took up. Akin Adesokan, once again, thank you very much, because it was you who insisted that we have to do this. Thank you so much. So, thank you. So we're going to screen this film this documentary this evening at about, I think the time is 5, but we are going to send out the link. It's a session where they want to ask Toyin Akinyosho questions. He's the one who harasses people with questions, so they want to harass him with questions. But we told them, don't come and spoil our wine drinking ceremony. So they scheduled their own for the evening, which they will be holding this evening. So we thank them for that. And the film will be screened at that period. Hopefully you'll have gotten the link to the book by then, so that there's anybody who can join us. And so those are the 2 items that we have been able to put together. This is the 3rd one, this celebration online. So I think I will yield the ground to, as they say in America, I'll yield the ground to, unless anybody has any comment, I'd like to yield the ground to Akin Adeshokon to run us through the end.
Well, a few people want to say things.
Oh, okay.
That's like I saw Nduka Otiono raising his hand at some point. So if Shehu can unmute him, he wants to offer a few words.
Even Yomila Yinka too wants to say something.
Yeah. So maybe we'll have people speak for like 3 minutes each, say whatever they want to say for a total of maybe 15 minutes. 5 people.
I've offered a few words.
3 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to even take up the 3 minutes.
All right.
I've offered a view in a piece I call, well, you know, I'm not really a poetry person. Toasting Toyin Akinyosho as geologist, journalist, flaneur, and more. I think that since everybody is going to read this book, I believe everybody's going to read this book. I don't have to bore you with what I said there. But like German, I've had the privilege, exceptional privilege, of being under the same roof with Toyin, who hosted me so graciously while I was effecting my transition for the United States back home between 2014 and 2015. And I can testify that Toyin is one of the most generous, large-hearted, open-minded persons I've ever known. And I think I've met a number of people in my life. So I just want to use the opportunity to thank Toyin and wish him every good thing that he wishes himself. I mean the good things that he wishes himself. Sometimes we wish ourselves things that are not good for us. So I'm going to hope that only the good things that he wishes himself will come to ripeness as he enters his 7th decade here on earth. I know that he's not going to tire being an energetic advocate of the arts, being the self-described cultural enthusiast, but also being a publisher not only of Festac News, but of Oil and Gas Report, which from all indications is one of the most highly regarded publications in the oil industry. I think that what gives him his eba and a wedu, and I hope that that will continue to flourish and move on to even greater heights, so that it's not be only in Nigeria, but all over the world, wherever oil and gas are important, that Africa oil will be highly regarded. You said 3 minutes. That's only 2. Yeah. So 1 minute more. Now, I forward like to the real celebration where we can all go on there and drink and, well, dance, because that's what Toyin deserves. Congratulations, Toyin, my brother. More years ahead, more decades ahead, good health, prosperity, and long life. Thank you to all of you for taking time to be here this morning for us to celebrate our birthday. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, Lai, go on.
Well, Baba Publisher, Agbarapo.
3 minutes.
There isn't much to say, just to thank you for all of those many years of very serious and thorough engagement. And of course, Yabis, and you're just a great guy. And I can only wish you the very best. And I'm not going to give your profile here. Dodge has said it all from the industry, and every other artist here has said what needs to be said about you. Just keep being you, and looking forward to your 70th. But it's unbelievable that you're 60, publisher. I mean, but anyway, happy birthday, man. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, Mike, come on again.
I can't get.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
You are on.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure to be here. I have heard and listened to people claiming our own great Tony. I have known Tony since 82, 83, and it was a very great fun in the First Act community then, when he would walk from 22 Road to the 4th Avenue, and I will escort him back. And what are we talking art? We're not talking geology, or this was just a great soul that God has endowed to serve the whole of the human community. And that is who Toyin Akin-Osho is. And I must tell you that if you are able to gather all the work that he has done in terms of writings and projections and coverage of events in the Nigerian art scene, then he deserves a Guinness Award. Not just because we are talking and we know him, because of the volume of work he has put together. His house in First Act was the first point of call where we were thinking of how to form the Lagos Circle of Art Critics. And believe you me, that is an area, art criticism in Nigeria, we know is a very big angle, and it started in the sitting room. Well, Chika is not here today. I was expecting to see him, and I've seen Lampert and German and the rest of you. Ogaga, Efodo, well done. No. I know that there's a lot to talk about, but this forum is such a great and unique one, and I'm very happy that it was put together. I was still writing my own bit when the book was ready. And I then promised that, well, I'm going to come out with my own profile and illustrations and artwork. And I would like to look and peep into Toyin Akin-Osho's collection. He has great collections and unusual one for that matter. So it's something that we need to reverberate. And like the ripple of stone thrown into the water, it will continue to spread to the rest of the world. Congratulations, my brother. Welcome aboard the corridor of the city.
Remy?
Hello? Can you hear me?
You're on. Yeah.
Oh, Akin, how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, yes, I'm raising my hand, and I'm a secondary school student. Yeah. Happy birthday to Toyin, Mr. Publisher. We've talked about Toyin as an activist, as an art critic. There's one other item that we should not forget, especially for those of us who are writers and who are art administrators. Toyin is a quintessential art administrator and art practitioner. If we are going to tell the story of Nigerian pen, when we talk about the League of Writers, more like the equal of the United Nations, Toyin has been a bulwark, has been a great supporter. Whatever history that we're going to write about pen Nigeria, Toyin has always been there. We were together in London in 2001. At that time, I've never been to the UK. I don't know whether Toyin had been to UK before me, but we moved around the streets, and it seems to contain within himself some kind of Google map. When we miss our way, he always find a way back. And how did Toyin find his way back? By getting to the right pub. And then when we get to the pub, we always find our way back to the hotel. The same thing happened in Ghana, the same thing happened in Senegal. He has always been there. And even when many many people were not able to attend Penn International, Toyin will pay his own, for his own flight ticket. I recall 2006 in Berlin, he was there. So Toyin is many things, a man of many parts. And I thank God for his life. Publisher, congratulations for reaching 60. We will join you very soon. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Nduka.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I will just, it looks like I've written pretty much everything I wanted to say in the book. But I thought to add my voice, to bring some of the things that I've said to life. I think TA is a very weird person in ways that people don't easily recognize. Where that, he is just one of those fellows in the arts and culture community that you can almost bet that he's going to be at home with just about anybody. That's why I invited Kika, because Kika helped me edit my contribution, and she was like, I really want to see this guy, So beyond the cultural aspect of things, I wanted to point to how humane and how so self-effacing and how so down to earth Toyin is. Whereas, we're writers, artists, and what have you, and I've been journalists and so on, I found that connection with Toyin in, especially in the Lagos nightlife. I can see, yes, somebody like Lai will be smiling there, and I know a few other suspects who are in the house today. And the most unlikely moments you're going to see Toyin either in your house or in your office or in a place that you just didn't expect to see this oil man, And then he's going to be here. And this evening I was having a private chat. I remember so many. In fact, I remember a particular evening with Toyin, Chedu, Ezana, and I can't remember other people who were there. Because in any case, these are some of the most memorable people at any event you would have. And that was at Thistle Bar. Some of you may have experienced Thistle Bar with Toyin. I don't know whether he still goes there these days. And so when we finished the formal part of an evening, it was the informal part of it that's even more exciting. And I leave many of us who have shared those informal parts of the evening to continue to reimagine it in their minds today. And Toyin, this is to you, being a wonderful guy. And I know that 60 looks very good on you. And this might just be the beginning of yet another, I won't say 60, but yet another chapter that is going to be more fulfilling than the first chapter. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let me add a few things, nothing much, just to directly to publisher. Okay, publisher, totally on mute. This is the time to start collecting big time. So Valley collect, we appreciate it. Basically going so that you turn that house into a gallery, which you've always wanted to do. So this is an opportunity for you because you are doing so many things at the same time. So think of that as one of the things you want to be doing, like collecting big time, any kind of work, because that's how you started and that's how you want to continue. That's what I want to add.
What's going on now?
Edmond.
Yeah. Hey. So good morning, everybody. Am I on?
Good morning.
You're on.
Aha. I just want to say that waiting to celebrate Toyin this morning was worth it, if only for all the faces that I have seen today. But the interesting thing, apart from everything and the many things that will be read in the book that has been published, it's the humanist in Toyin that I just want to reflect on this morning, giving me a toast. I remember in between 1995 and 96, when we are putting things together to help Akeem Shita, when he had that his cancer challenge.
Head injury.
One of those people who was constantly asking about how far we were going was Toyin. Toyin would always call. Remember too then that telephone was not something that you could easily get at. to get information across to people. But somehow, Tony was able to keep in touch because the three of us, Tony, Akim, and I, after all those nights of going around Lagos covering one arts event or the other, and me living in faraway Ikorodu, would always go and crash at mile 2 at Akim's place. So it was those long walks were usually between three of us with Tony, who is going to Festac, and then we would, keep some good times together. Then nobody knew that, nobody cared about Tony's geology background or anything. In fact, he reminded us so much of Senge Aribabu, who in the 70s committed class suicide by going to live with the farmers. That was what some people thought Tony was doing with the arts, when he would go around us and then we'll compare notes and share. They were great times. But not many people remember the humanistic nature of Tony, who cared for people and who would go out of his way to ensure that he touches the lives of people. In his review, particularly with yes, particularly had passion for the fine arts. So Tony, as you join us in the Club of 60, I also toast to a good decade of your life. You will live to fulfill a lot of the things that you have dreamed about, and God willing, you will also be celebrated.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Ken.
Ken Egbas.
Okay. I will see Timunolo.
Oh. No wonder you couldn't see.
So read the baby and the baby and Legon.
Okay.
But there are times I just sit down, and all through my life, I remember Tony very fond. I remember his words. I remember when he was just, I don't want to use the word silly for an elder, but he always wanted to just make people laugh, and how I've looked at everybody in this room. I possibly represent one of the youngest, but if I didn't meet Tony the way I met Tony, I probably wouldn't have ended up the way my life did. Tony took me in, gave me a job, turned the stranger into his brother, into his family. I know at the point, even his mom came to storm the man's house and say, who are all these outsiders who will not allow my son to marry? You understand? And it actually threw us out, and we staged. We actually behaved. I don't know if Babo is here. She asked everybody to leave her son's house so that the son will marry a wife in the house. But Tony wouldn't hear. Tony wouldn't hear any of that. I wasn't the only one. So today I'm speaking for people. I'm speaking for people like myself. We are many who grew out of that home, out of that house, out of, to places of influence, and who have been paying forward the virtue and the values we learned from Tony, those values and virtues of brotherliness, looking out for the weak ones among us, and having this sense of sacrifice and care for others. If I didn't meet Tony, my life would be very different. So, Uncle T, on behalf of all of us who are your children, people say you may not have biological children, but I've come to understand that children are not the people you father directly, but the people whose lives you have influenced. I am one of those people. And I speak for so many others. We are in our hundreds who may not have the opportunity to be here, that we would not have turned out this way if we did not meet Tony Akiosho. On your birthday, I wish you so many things. But most of all, I bid you now that you are 60. What Mama was crying for, please make it come true. Let one woman stay in the house. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. That's why I never took your leg.
What's your turn? Then you're me. Rocco,
my name is Rocco Winla, and Doja, I thank you for. I'm aware you are still there. Doja, my name is Rocco Winla, and I know that Tony Akinsho is well respected in the oil and gas industry up till today. He still publishes. That's why we call him the publisher. He publishes across. Tony Akinsho is a great personality, no doubt about that. And then, well, maybe one of the first thing the first thing I want to say is that the midwifing of a body of artists called Kona. Well, I'm sure that reminiscences of Kona still happens here today with Uncle Yomila Yinka. I think the task to set with this birthday is to ensure that that dream of Kona lives. That's the most serious thing, Professor. And the other thing about how Tony Akinsho has impacted lives. I'm a Lossy Club. I'm a Lossy I lived in Festac for months, and German will be a witness to this. Shewonla Koton will also be a witness to this. Stella will be a witness to this. And we did all sorts of things together. Tony Akinsho will go out, and all he's going to drink in one entire night is just maybe 2 small bottles of small stout, and he comes home. And then I remember that there was a time that Chevron gave him a maybe 45 kVA generator, and we had a Labaf that was supposed to hold, and we didn't have money. And in his house, in that duplex in Festac, T. Attington, where we were putting on I better pass my neighbor who think he better pass my neighbor. It's not the smallest one. It's the I better pass my neighbor who think he better pass my neighbor. Publisher sold the big 7 kVA generator, 45 kVA generator that should have served his house, and used it to fund 3 days of Kora's Labaf. We didn't even recoup all the costs. So what kind of a human being is he? He's a brother fucker. He's a sweet brother fucker. I love him for who he is. I live in that house, and then I did everything we could do to make sure that we can generate proposal format for raising funds for Kora to attract funds from other people. Yeah. All right. In one day, this brother fucker told me, leave my house. And I was like, I had to call German and say, look, what's going on? I was weeping from, but it's a sweet guy. After that, we've gone back to today. I know that he's one of the most remarkable personalities that you can ever think of in the realm of art advocacy, art and cultural advocacy in Nigeria. And there's a way, the only way we can preserve that is to make sure that Kona, or whatever Kona stands for, is revived. So if you are saying that we want to celebrate his 70th birthday, his 60th birthday, his 80th birthday, I don't know whether he's going to live up to that time. I'm not in control of that. What we can all do now is to ensure that we pool resources to make sure that the ideals that it stands for would stay. We
All
have
right.
published a book on him, good. Do all these treatises on him, good. But what are we as individuals ready to do to make sure that if that single legacy lives, Toyin Akinyosho lives forever?
I met Mr. Okay, face talking now. My short time of meeting Mr. Toyin, I've come to know that he's a lover of books. When we started the monthly Quora thing, Mr. Toyin, don't worry. I want people to be reading books everywhere. I want to find that in Lagos, you can go to here, they are reading books. You go to here, they are reading books. Okay, very nice. So for me, Mr. Toyin is somebody that is easily misunderstood because but he's somebody that is focused. I want to grow hearts. He's always talking about art, always talking about books. Okay, so Mr. Toyin is a fantastic art advocate. Somebody that you can if left to him, Nigeria can never be like this. It's not possible. Even Lagos can never be like this. So I celebrate you, Mr. Toyin. I've not known you for a long time, but the short time I've known you, I have seen that you are somebody that is committed to any cause that you set your eyes on. Thank you for everything you do.
Did you say he's a lover of books or a lover of something else I heard? Books.
Books or what?
Books. B-double-O-K.
Okay, I thought you said.
Hey,
okay, I thought you said love. Okay. Doja Jelabi, you are on.
Thank you. Okay, so I didn't take time to wish Toyin happy birthday while I was preaching to German. So I am saying, Toyin, there's only one of you. There cannot be another. So this is your 60th, is a milestone. We wish you, you're so loved. We so much cherish you. And you've had so much of an impact on everybody's lives. So from the heart, we wish you happy birthday. Long life, live long, prosper, many happy returns for you. God bless you. And find a wife, please.
All right, thank you. Jumoke? You go.
Happy birthday, sir. I don't know where to start, but I must say that you've always been a very interesting person, you know. I don't think there's a time I just see you and I don't laugh. You come across as very you book lover and all of that, but I also sense someone who is very sensitive, you know. And I'll just say that I wouldn't know you as much as many of the people here, but at least the little time that I got to work with you while I was with Quora, I discovered someone that also bleeds, you know. I'm a perspective, I found that out because you don't react, you laugh it off, but I sense a very, very sensitive person. And I can start from everything you mentioned. You talk about, I don't think there's a conversation when you're talking about Lagos that you don't mention your mom or your growing up. I think there's a connection to that sense of somebody who is very aware of what's going on around him. And people take that for granted. I also like the fact that you are, like someone mentioned, I can't remember who mentioned it, your sense of being focused. Now that's a very interesting part, which is that I guess in life we expect a sense of, we think of focus in a certain way, but I think there's a way you're playful, but you're taking away from people as much as you are giving to people. I very much admire that about you. And of course, the last one is that you're very, very critical. I remember when I started writing for Guardian, and I guess the very first, very early comments I got from the things I wrote would be, a publisher would call and say, Torí nǹkan tó kọ́ ń interrogate kí ni ẹ̀ dáadáa, àbí? Or something like that. And then I mean, he was always reading my reviews, and I kind of admired that. You made me want to get better. And I really appreciate that. And even when I published recently, you sent me an email through a link of a review that was done in your magazine. And that's not the first time you would do something like that. There's a sense of support you give from the very back end. You don't want to be seen. And I would say thank you for all of that. And I really do admire that. And I thank you for the kind words you've shown. I was also doing the short story some time back, and I had to call you because it had to do with some thing around oil. And you were, you just spent so many minutes, and then suddenly you said, I'm sorry later, playing it first start missing. And then, but I really do appreciate all of that. I like that sense, how you combine your playfulness with being sensitive to the needs of others. I think it's quite admirable. Happy birthday, Publisher. And I wish you long life. I wish you good health. I wish you wealth, whichever way you want it. I don't think it matters to you as much. And I think you already have the wealth you need. And I do pray that all that you get would make you happy. And if you choose to get a wife, I wish you happiness with that. If you don't, I wish you happiness with that as well.
All right. Thank you, Jumoke. All right. Do we have anyone else? And Yomi? Is Yomi trying to say something? And then we can go to Publisher himself.
I have something to say.
Yes, let me. Hello?
Yes?
Am I on?
You're on, Yomi.
Okay.
Then you're dealing
all right.
You. Yes.
Okay. Publisher. That's a very good brother and friend. I got to know Toyin through his cousin Tokunbo Ojekunle at Radio Lagos. So that's another angle that I know many people may or may not know. He loved radio so much and used to provide cerebral content, artistic content for Radio Lagos back then, late 80s to early 90s, and well, of course, German too. Toyin is a wonderful guy. Wonderful guy. He never forgets his friend. Even when I moved to the banking industry, he would always get in touch. And even if we don't see for months, he will always get in touch. And when we get in touch, it's like we've missed each other for years. I'm so glad that you are 60. But I want to use this opportunity also to say, Toyin, I'm sorry, because he used to call me Egbon. Never knowing that I was younger than him. I still have months ahead to clock 60. Toyin, Joma Binu, Egbon mi ni, you want Egbon me, sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah? So, right? On behalf of Tokunbo Ojekunle, who also happens to be my best man and his best man, and your cousin, and the Radio Lagos family of old, Kole Adeodutola in Florida now. Is it Florida? All of us want to. Professor, OTD professor, saying, well, Baboni Ruboye, okay, Baboni Ruboye, okay. Akim Shita, like you said, may so rest in peace, and all of us, we just have fun. He will come all the way from far place and come into Ikeja and what have you. Many, many happy returns. I wish you God's richest blessings in the years ahead. And please keep doing what you know how to do best, touching humanity. That's what God wants from us. Whatever talent He gives us, that's what He wants. He wants us to touch humanity. Bless you.
All right.
And bless all of you that put this thing together. Bye-bye.
All right. Ayodele Ganiu, last person.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Publisher, I have just a few things to say about Publisher. Publisher, I met him about 7 years ago through my Oga German Anipulapo. Publisher Oga Toyin Akiyosho is an interesting personality, like a few people have said. He's interesting in many ways. First, he's a selfless person. Oga Toyin Akiyosho is selfless. I represent the Pan-African Network of Artists, Arterial Network, and we signed a contract to make Quora the host of Arterial Network in Nigeria. For 6 years, after the first year when we had our grant, we were so broke that we couldn't even afford administrative expenses. We could barely manage projects with little funds that we had to raise. Publisher, we were supposed to pay rent. We used publisher's office for 6 years without paying a dime. Publisher also offered me an apartment, which was supposed to be a temporary apartment accommodation through German Anikulapo's recommendation, but I ended up spending approximately 5 years. I get crashed. Publisher does not pretend. I traveled to Canada for a program. I spent several months and I locked my apartment, which I get crashed to. As I arrived from the airport from my Uber, publisher just attacked me. Hey, why? You are going too far. One of the things I've learned from publisher is the need for us to maintain our dignity, our confidence, the respect when we deal with our foreign partners, our Weibo partners. The excesses that we often experience, publisher does not tolerate those excesses. I learned that from him. He might not know, and those have guided the way I do my thing with our foreign partners. So on this occasion of your birthday, Mr. Toyin Akinyosho at 60, I want to draw inspiration from the music of the king of Fuji music, K1 the Ultimate. Publisher ẹni lọ́jọ́ bí ẹ o, ọmọ lọ́jọ́ bí. Publisher ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ á ṣe púpọ̀, ọmọ lọ́jọ́ bí. Gbogbo wa ò máa ní fi ẹ̀ ṣàwátì, ọmọ lọ́jọ́ bí. Wá dàgbà wá dògbó, pàwọ́lá Ọlọ́run, ọmọ lọ́jọ́ bí. Congratulations, ọmọ lọ́jọ́ bí. Happy birthday to you, ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ á ṣe púpọ̀, ọmọ lọ́jọ́ bí.
Whatever you want to say, àwọn èèyàn ń dúró, everybody wọ́n ti ń dúró there, wọ́n ti rẹ̀kẹ́.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Can hear you. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead. Oh wow, this is wonderful. I mean, I come from a place of humility. I honestly didn't believe that this could happen. You know, when Koro shut us all down, I told myself that was one excuse for me to run away from these kinds of things, you know, because I knew there would be characters planning all kinds of gatherings, you know. And so the fact that one has not been able to escape this kind of joyous moment that all of you have come together, my senior, Yomila Inka, who claimed that I picked him as Quora president, everybody knows that in 1991, when we started Quora, at a time of a harmattan in the arts, no one could have led that organization so readily, so easily, you know, as Yomila Inka, had done. And of course, in terms of what the future of the Quora will be, no one could have built the Quora into what it is. It wasn't for German, but usually for everybody here, you know, and you know, one is very careful not to be mentioning names, otherwise you start listing. I am incredibly you can't be incredibly grateful. No, a lot of English professors are here. I'm significantly grateful. I'm struggling with the that, you know, as we do in Quora, the eldest person is a reference. So for Auntie Yabo to have been here since 12 o'clock, since 11:50, up till now, I mean, this is totally awesome. I'm grateful for all the points of view. I'm grateful for those that came out, you know, clearly that, look, you messed up, you know. I'm happy. I know that, well, I mean, when you get to 60, it's hard to change. I mean, you're already established. I mean, 60 is not a young age. I mean, in Nigeria, so when you get to that point, you know, I mean, if you're telling people get out and all that, you keep on telling people get out. You really can't stop telling people get out, you know. But I want to say that, you know, for everything I've done, whether we are negative or positive, that basically has been just not out of malice or anything, but, you know, just I'm a spur of the moment kind of guy, you know, and but I really am very grateful. There are a lot of lies here, you know. There are a lot of, I mean, I've not exactly achieved a lot of things that people are pretending I have, you know. But it's okay. I mean, you say nice things about a guy, you know, when it's his birthday, I mean, you won't, you know. But really, I'm excited. I think there's work to do. The one work that I will pick, you know, of all the suggestions here tonight is the one about for Kona. You know, that Kona part thing is about, if you look around, we're still the bottom of the heap in the Nigerian economy, you know. So basically what Kona wanted to do largely, you know, was to, you know, I mean, fill the void that the Nigerian government was leaving in terms of having some kind of an endowment for the arts, such that if you are such a terrific poet, you know, you can go, you know, if you are such an awesome sculptor, you will actually have a place to go for your projects to be funded. But more importantly, when you are in that kind of age where you can't do so much and you have health challenges, there is also that pool, whether it's in terms of some significant health insurance, I mean, a whole lot of things. That's what Kona wants to do. And I hope that we can sit down and properly structure something. We were trying to do some kind of registration, at least to start, you know, and then, you know, a part of my own is, I mean, once you give Chevron where the easy money was, I mean, and you're trying to do this 8 to 5, just, I mean, you know, it becomes a little bit more challenging to organize. So, but we need to do that. For the second, I mean, for Akin Adesokan's suggestion about the gallery, well, you know, why don't we do the one that is for the commons, you know? I mean, that I think is very important. And I hope
that's the idea.
Yeah, I mean, if this is what, if a structured corner is what this gathering, you know, manages to achieve in terms of, at least we take it further, you know, I think that it would have succeeded. This gathering would have succeeded. There's no point coming together and, you know, all saying nice things and then it doesn't lead to something. It will be this will be, it will be very good for the I mean, this generation, for example, thinks that, you know, they are 20, they are 30, they still think that it will go on and on like that. You know, if you have 10 houses in Lekki today, you probably want to remember that, you know, a Victor Laya, you know, if a fat big house in Surulere in the 60s is equivalent to having a fat big house in Lekki today. So those things, you know, you still need to keep on working on them. So the point is, if you have a pool and you can actually structure something that not necessarily comes up in terms of cash, but that people can, you know, this guy has a heart attack, that guy, I mean, that those things can be sorted out through a fund pool that artists themselves are put together in kobos, and over time investment. I mean, they've invested. That's part of what Corner was hoping to do. And in a sense, Arterial Network does a bit of that, but we actually need that structure. But then, saying all of this, we'll pretend like as if I do not appreciate what you've done. I really do. I'm very much overwhelmed. I'm thankful. I am excited. This is a very powerful message. I'm sitting in my desk that all of you know, in my house, and when we all finish here, we get to complete. I go back to complete the May edition of Africa Oil Gas Report and polish off the book advil for tomorrow for some of you to read. So that's that life will go on. But really, I do appreciate this. I thank you very much, everybody. I didn't see Uncle Pascal say anything at all. I think it's unfair, that the only man around. I
asked him to say something. Maybe you didn't read his message.
Because it would look like we didn't allow the only Oyibo man.
No, there are two Oyibo.
I know he's Lagosian now and all that, but in the spirit of diversity, Anyway, I thank you all. We should all meet up in some, there are some very new lounges here that haven't been open. I live 7 minutes away from the best lounges in Lagos, in all of Lagos. And honestly, the beer parlors just keep on popping up on Admiralty Way. I mean, it's a very massive, just 5 minutes from me. And I was hoping that we will begin to attend some of them before this. But yeah, Koro will go away and we'll assemble somewhere. I have some nice places that we can all, gather together and do some stouts and, but thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I'm excited. Leke, you didn't speak, but it's okay. I feel you. Thank you so much, everybody. Yes.
Thank you.
I've seen people giving applause on even on Zoom. So can we give publisher a virtual applause for delivering his manifesto for the next level? Please, round of applause for publisher. Well, thank you very much, publisher Toyin Akinosho. Thanks, Akin, for moderating this, and we want to thank everybody for participating.
All right. I want to start by thanking everybody for being a part of this event. As I often say, that each time we celebrate one of us, we are invariably celebrating ourselves. So for me, it's some kind of incestuous celebration. And especially for the older ones among us, thank you for being a part of this event, Auntie Yabo, Oku Yomilaye Yinka, and the rest of them. Again, I always say that Toyin's life cannot be scripted. And therefore, starting a program to say it's going to be a 40-minute program, of course, we knew we were deceiving ourselves. And 40 minutes program has become 3 hours, and all of us have stayed true, which was quite interesting. And it also is a demonstration of the affection and love that we have for the only publisher that we have. There are two people that go with that title, Nduka Obaibena and Toyin Akinosho, but the original publisher is Toyin Akinosho. Nduka is just a traveler along that road. Particularly, I should mention Pascal Ott. Since he's refused to say anything, thank you for being a part of this event. Thank you for being a part of us. There's a part of Pascal that many people don't know. I have known Pascal from way back. Pascal was my teacher at the University of Ilorin. Wow. We used to think that Pascal was just a very good footballer, a good French teacher. We didn't also know that he had eyes for things Nigerian. And out of the blues, he stole one of our sisters. And of course, The beauty of it is that when you drink Nigerian water, it means you cannot run away. And that's why Pascal is stuck here. He's moved around the continent, but he's always found himself back in Nigeria. So Pascal, thanks for being a part of it. And there's nothing else to add other than to remind publisher, I don't know whether it's a generational thing. When it was Odia's turn, the last sentence was, Odia, give us that book. Now it is Toyin's turn. Toyin, give us that book. Odia, give us the woman. Toyin, give us the wife. Okay, let me quote Ogaga now, the way Ogaga told Odia one day. If you are not going to give us a wife, give us the bastard. We'll manage that one too. So, but then, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for being a part of this event. Looking forward to other celebrations. And my prayer is that just as we celebrate Toyin, we will all be celebrated. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye.
There are no bastards anywhere. Just give us a child if you want.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Ọdúnbádé màmá kẹ́gbàdálé Ọdúnbádé màkérò lẹ́yìn mi ìyá tó bí kèfèrí ló bí pásítọ̀ bàbá tó bí lè mọ́mù ló bí kèfèrí ọ̀rọ̀ yá dàrí wo ẹ̀jẹ̀
Everyone said he's not sleep.
Wow. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. This is awesome, man. Hey guys,